Okay, how about this? This is so cool. Um, I was just thinking about New Age and religion. And New Age is the love of self, and that self within has power. And the whole thinking of that if you ask yourself what is good for your body, and you've heard people say, like, when they walk by something, that they literally check with the energy within, that they ask that energy, which is self, if this is good for the body. How about this? This is so cool. I invited the Holy Spirit in. I rebuked the enemy out, and I invite the Holy Spirit in, and I replace with good. And I've been experiencing that when I walk by something, if it's good for me or not. And it's because I asked the Holy Spirit within me, because I asked the Holy Spirit to take control of my heart, take control of my tongue, take control of my thoughts, and take every thought captive so that it lines with Christ, with even just for balance for my body. Like, is this good for me? And so yesterday, I made this lovely thing of food full of cruciferous veggies, which is, the highest nutrient dense veggies, and they're the same color outside as in. I made eggs in dark leafy greens. And I served this to the ladies that I was doing this talk on restoration. And I had them do a shot of carrot juice first, before they ate their meal. I had them do a shot of carrot juice on an empty stomach, just like you would do first thing in the morning. And we talked about that, the benefits of juicing and how good it was for you. And then I brought a jug of distilled water, which, here's my distiller. And I boiled off the gunk. And this is the gunk and the water that I'm going to clean out and then fill back up, which I'll show you at the end of this video. And hook the distiller up, and you'll see, you'll hear the motor going and how it drips into the catch pitcher. And so after we drank the juice, then we drank distilled water from a distiller, and I had everybody do this, added 2 drops. So this will all be a great reminder for them. But you add 2 drops of trace minerals. 1, 2. In every glass that you drink. From, if you can see, Concentrace. Catch on name. Concentrace. And then they drank their distilled water. And what's the benefit of that? You should drink water at room temperature. You should not do ice. You should not drink water, any water, filtered water, tap water, distilled water, while you're eating food. And so I wanted them to experience that. And then I gave them a small plate, a little bit bigger than the fist, and I had them fill their plate up, their small plate up, because this is the size of our stomach. And a lot of times because we get in the habit of eating more and more and more and more when we sit down and eat, we are overeating. And so this was just, eating whole foods, not drinking water to dilute the digestion enzymes that are already going to start when you start chewing. So say you start chewing, swallow, These digestive enzymes have already started. You take another bite, swallow, and then you grab your water and you drink and wash it down. Wash it down, wash it down. And all of a sudden, you start feeling, I feel a little bloated, or like things aren't moving, it's just sitting. That's diluting the digestive enzymes that was meant to, food digests and then it moves out of the gut, out of the stomach, and then it goes into the intestine. When you add water, you dilute it down and it can't digest as fast. It can't break down as fast. And so after a certain period of time, if it just sits in the stomach and you keep adding water, and what happens is it starts fermenting because it should have been out of the stomach by now. And the digestive enzymes, a small amount of digestive enzymes breaks down that food and sends it to the small intestine. If it's full, that's why you hear sloshing in your stomach sometimes. After you've eaten and drank a bunch of water, it's still sitting in there. It's not digesting, it's not going through. So the fermentation of the food actually makes it into sugar, and that's when you start having yeast problems, because now your food is fermenting in your gut and you start making yeast. Yeast is the number one issue of why we aren't digesting food properly, and obesity. It's why we bloat and inflame and become obese. We're overeating, we're fermenting our food in our stomach, and it's not passing through as fast as it's supposed to. And so that's damaging the digestion process. So I'm just breaking that down for you. I wanted these ladies to experience and order juicing. The benefits of juice on an empty stomach goes straight into the system, and it's what your body needs first thing in the morning, is that high nutrient dense veggies in a liquid form, and then it goes straight into the bloodstream. And there's no water except the distilled water that comes from juicing. Pulling the vegetable away, the fibrous vegetable, physical properties of the vegetable away in a catch, and then taking and dripping the juice, which is basically distilled water from our veggies. That's so awesome. So anyway, then you wait 15 minutes after I explained all what juicing does, and then you drink your distilled water with trace minerals, okay? You're going to drink, and you're going to wait 15 minutes. It's room temperature, no ice. And then you're going to eat your food. And I asked my body, with the Holy Spirit inside, because I gave the Holy Spirit control, if I should have this carb today. And I'm having it on a flatbread, and instead of eating it just in a bowl. And so I got a green light, and it feels like that's a go for me, that I need this fuel and I need these extra carbs today. So I'm going to eat this with no water, and then 15 minutes after I eat this, because it's a small plate and it's a small serving, and I'll be able to tell when I get closer to the end of eating it if I'm full. You should only fill your stomach 80% full. You should leave 20% open for digestion and expansion, because we also have, what's it called? Not heartburn, but reflux. If you overeat and you fill your stomach too full, as it's digesting, your stomach expands, and you need to leave room for that expansion as it's breaking down food and juice and digestive enzymes. So you should only fill your stomach up 80% and leave 20% for. So you should be listening while you're eating and chewing. As you get done, you might be surprised that you can't eat all that. And that's okay. You need to say, I'm done. This is all the fuel I need for right now, and it's room to digest. You put it in a baggie, and you put it in the fridge, and you eat it later. So, great tip. I hope so. And after you eat, you wait 15 minutes, and that's when you either eat fruit first or you drink your water. So you drink your room temperature distilled water, hopefully. It's distilled water. Just because it's going to really cleanse your body. Distilled water is the cleanse long term. And then you eat your fruit separate from your meal because it's sugar, it's natural sugar, and it ferments food. So you want it to just be by itself, digestive enzymes breaking it down by itself. And then don't forget your dark chocolate after you've waited a while. See, it's all a process, and you keep your water with you. And when you walk away from the table or you're in the car driving and you're going to your destination, then you drink your water. And then later you're going to have your chocolate, your dark chocolate, because dark chocolate has a lot of antioxidants, and it's bitter, and it takes the taste away, kind of a lot like cleaning your palate, only with like you do with coffee. A lot of times you crave coffee, right? Coffee has a lot of pesticides in it, and just that and grapes are very highly loaded with pesticide killers because they're super tiny beans, and there's a lot of pests all over each bean. And so they have to spray a ton of pesticides to get off each bean the bugs. So that's food. And now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to show you this distiller. I already scrubbed it once around with my scrub brush, and I'm going to dump it out. And I can still see, if you can see, there's still some sludge in there. I'm just going to brush this around. And the boiling off with the cleaner takes about maybe 20 minutes. And then you unplug, you let it cool off, you come over, you brush it out. Much better. So now I fill it up with water to the fill line. Right here it says full. This is the full line. Right there, the full line. This is a Mega Home brand, and it costs $230, and I've had it going on 2 years, and it has been well worth the money. I'm saving on plastic. I store everything in glass jars. Even my travel mug is either stainless or glass. To drink water, it's better to drink in glass and store in glass. And it saves on plastic because you can wash out your glass. Okay, I'm going to turn it around. And I plug it in. Plug in this one. And here's the top. And I plug that in, if you can see it back there. Starts the fan. Can you hear the fan? Okay, here is the front of it. It has a reset button. And I just put, right here is the carbon filter. Comes with carbon filters, so that it's called VOCs, volatile organic compounds, come out, and the carbon filters catch it, and then the condensation drip passes the carbon filter and goes into the catch. And so this takes about 4 hours, and I'm just in the habit, when it's full, I then drink from it. So, encourage, exhort. That's my gifting. And I'm operating in my gifting. I empty myself out and recognize, and I'm mindful that this is the design that God made me be, a teacher, an exhorter of truth. And so I understand that, and I receive that, and I'm grateful for that gift, and I'm operating in that gift. So I love you. See my sign right behind me? It says, love people, cook them tasty food. I think I got it in like a long time ago before health was, lovely for me. I got it in a box of some product, food, of course, and then that sticker. It's not stuck on there. It's just loose, so I can take it with me wherever I go. I just tucked it in there. So, bye.